Recording? Okay. All right, so today we're at the high jump mat and we're gonna talk specifically about two things. The first thing is, as athletes come in, you want them to stay on their curve. And the problem I see a lot is they come in on the curve and they step out and they dive in, right? So if you've ever seen an example of this, so if you get really right here, I'm gonna have to tell my camera person to stand right there. And now when I come in, you ever seen this? Right? Well, the problem with that is they come in and there's this big separation between their thighs, okay? So there's this big spot and they'll step outside the curve. So I'll take my chalk and I kind of draw my line here of how I would come around, right? So I'd be flat through here, right? So I'd come on this curve, and if I'm running this line, I should be stepping this whole time on this curve and then continuing off, right? So that's why when I run my actual curve, so if I actually run this, you'll see I lean away and I'll run this curve, and the whole time I can actually run through it, right? I don't stop. So here, and I stay on this curve all the way through, right? Well, if I come down here and I start running this curve and then I just come straight in order for me to really jump over, I gotta then do something crazy here, or what'll happen is you'll come in on the curve and then it'll end up coming here. So now I'm straight. So if I want to jump, if I jump, I'm going to go this way. So if I have to get over the curve, I have to open up my legs, step out to push me this way. So what I'm going to do is come in here, and it's called the thigh rub. I'm going to think of maybe a different name, but it's thighs coming together. And as I come through here, my right foot's my penultimate in this case. And as I come through, I want to keep this foot tight along the line. So I want to think about my thighs, which is about right here, rubbing past each other as they come to make sure it stays along that line. If I come out here and there's this big old gap between my legs, that means I'm stepping out. If I step out, in order to get this way, I have to kind of dive in. So we're thinking about our thighs, and as we come in, staying on this line. So if I just come through here, I'll do it wrong first. So first I'm gonna do it wrong. All right, now I'll do it right, where I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna really focus on keeping those thighs tight together as I come and swinging through, all right? Now I'm not gonna flop, I'm literally just gonna jump. Just gonna jump, not flop at all. I'm right here. So that's what we want, is we come through, and my step wasn't off. I really should have jumped right here, but you get the point. But I come through, boom, boom, and right there. See if I can get a better starting spot. And I can just pop up. So we want to focus on keeping on this lean, like we're just gonna run out a curve, and when we kind of jump, keep those feet together. Boom. And the second thing we want to focus on is not breaking the hip. So we're going to come through and not here through, but instead I want to keep my body in line. Boom, boom, through and swing. So I almost want to think about, like, once I do leave the ground, I'm pivoting here, boom, and coming through instead of breaking my hip outward. I almost want to think about doing this motion. Now that's not 100% what you're going to do, but it's the concept of going and kind of opening to allow yourself to jump up instead of just diving over. So those are the two things. So to recap, two things. Run our curve and run all the way out. Okay? Then, next time we run our curve, you want our thighs basically rubbing past each other to just keep them on that line. Okay? Third thing is, when I do finally jump, to not break over, but to keep myself up and open, really by driving my knee up. So I'm here, and as I'm coming through, I'm kind of opening it up. All right. So if you like that, I have a whole series on high jump technique, high jump drills. We kind of break down this stuff, information that I wish I would have had when I was younger. Go check that out.